Hello. Can't you just imagine it? The Democrats thinking, ha! At last we've got them. Pelosi sitting there eating ice cream in celebration. We finally arrested him. And then this mugshot suddenly appears all over the internet. And Pelosi just dropping her ice cream tub and looking at it and thinking, oh, shit. That's the most badass mugshot I have ever seen in my life. Mind you, I can't say that I'm an expert on looking at mugshots. Before I carry on, I'll tell you that I'm Granny Opterix. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I'm also on Twitter and Gab, where I let you know when I've uploaded a new video. You should also, when you subscribe to this channel, you should make sure you're getting notifications. That will help too. Okay, what else? Yeah, all the links are in the description, including links to donation sites. I always appreciate donations, of course. I'm still saving up for a new camera. But if you don't want to donate, that's fine. Just like the video, share it and subscribe. As I said, when you do subscribe, click the notification button as well, you know, that bell thing. Okay, let's talk about Trump. Now, I was a wholehearted supporter of Trump. I'm a little less committed now because of his attitude to Ukraine. And that's, that's a matter of political sympathies. I don't think any country, especially the most powerful military country in the world, should be relaxed about one country invading another country that has given them no cause for aggression. And self-stated for the territory. That's wrong, in my opinion. So I'm a bit worried about Trump in that respect. And I have to say, I'm terribly disappointed in Tucker Carlson about his attitude. And I used to find him quite interesting. But now he's giving the fact that he has, what's the name of that guy? McGregor, a failed general who has apparently gone over to the dark side altogether and has resorted to the final refuge of failed anybody by using anti-Semitic tropes to bolster his argument. I mean, that is the final refuge of the failure. And Carlson gave him platforms. Nothing wrong with that. He should do. That's good. But there was no pushback. There was no querying of his attitudes. And that's because Carlson is on Putin's side. And so he is willing to allow without question the views of somebody else who's on Putin's side. And I don't mean either of them actually like Putin. They just think that he was doing the right thing or not doing anything that bad. So I'm disappointed in Carlson for that. Not for giving McGregor the platform. That's a good idea. But for not raising any questions about McGregor's attitudes. However, I digress. Here's Trump. And even though I do have my now slight doubts about Trump's attitude to Ukraine, still, I admire the man. Now, I wouldn't like him as a next-door neighbour, but he is very admirable. He's strong and self-contained. He is honest in his own way. I know that he can be picked up on for business dealings, which none of us might like. But certainly he's a lot more honest than most of the Democratic politicians I've come across. So, and he did not weaponize the FBI like people like Barack Obama did. And the whole Republican Party don't do that. Now, I want to read this. The day Donald Trump became inmate P, I don't know whether that's 0 or O, but P01135809. That's going to be a number going down in history, isn't it? And it says here that he flew in to present himself at Fulton County Jail for arrest. And within an hour, when he'd had his mugshot, he did his own election campaign. Absolutely no harm at all. Right, well, what got me was the comment down here. Hang on. Oh, yeah, well, it was actually more than one comment. You see, there were many Trump supporters waiting outside the jail for a glimpse of their hero. And it said here, while many of Mr. Trump's supporters out on Thursday had been to several indictments and countless rallies, it was one fan's first time, hiding her face behind dark sunglasses and a large coat with its hood tightened round her face. To avoid being identified, a sweltering college student, 19, said she was concerned about being politically persecuted if she was pictured at the protest. So here is a college student who wants to support Trump, who thinks that that the Republicans have the right idea, and she dare not show her face. Now, she wouldn't give her name, and she'd been a supporter of Trump since she was 13. But she dare not actually out herself for that. She's far more, well, absolutely, if she'd outed herself as gay, there wouldn't have been a problem at all, would there? In fact, that would have been a plus in her victimhood list. But being victimized in this way, no. That doesn't count. There was another anti-Trump demonstrator there, Lori Arbiter, 64 from New York, told the Telegraph she was at ease despite being outnumbered by her political opponents. If they express violence, she said, then it's their violence. But the fact is, she knew there wasn't going to be violence. The Republican Party has not used the FBI and the secret services and the press and the law the same way as the Democrats did. It seems like they are too careful of the Constitution to wish to destroy it in that way. The Democrats don't seem to care a tuppenny damn about the Constitution. And also, the Democrats wouldn't care about beating up a Trump supporter in their midst. I'm not saying all of them, but I am saying it's far more likely that if somebody wearing a MAGA hat turned up at a Democrat rally, that person would be far more likely to be subject to violence than an anti-Trumper turning up at a MAGA demonstration. We all know that. Rudy Giuliani surrendered to the court on Wednesday, and he had a mugshot too. And I think the Democrats believe that this is going to destroy the Republican attempts at the next election, or rather Trump Republican attempts. There's no such thing as bad publicity. Anyone in showbiz knows that, and Trump knows that more than anyone. Well, there are one or two things that there's bad publicity about, but not this. This was a masterstroke of posing, and I'll bet you he stood in front of a mirror for hours rehearsing that one, and he nailed it. Okay, well, yeah, that's my thoughts about the Trump arrest. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Grambo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.